We should be up now. ChiefsTV.org.
The War Lodge here at Sequoia High School here in Canton, Georgia, for tonight's region matchup between the Sequoia Chiefs and the Cambridge Bears. I'm Chase Schaefer. Joining me in the booth is my associate Will Hogendijk. Will, thank you for joining us this evening.
As always, it's my pleasure, and I can't wait for another exciting night of basketball. We've been gone for a while from these schools being on winter break, but we're excited to get back into it.
You know, Will, it's also been an interesting season with all the COVID issues that everybody's been having. You know, games changing, and we just kind of have to be flexible this year as far as when we get to call some basketball or not.
Yeah, and fortunately that hasn't affected the boys' schedule too much, although the girls have been affected as their game was canceled tonight, and earlier, last year, one of their games was canceled as well, and that gave us the opportunity to call one of the boys' freshman games.
Yeah, they did. So a little bit of a preview of tonight's matchup. The Sequoia Chiefs come into this one 7-7, 0-3 in the region, but Cambridge also looking for that first region win as well. They're 0-3 coming in at a 5-6 record. The last game they played, they beat Northview 58-47, and the last time the Chiefs played, they fell to Chattahoochee 85-71. So Sequoia looking to get back on the wagon, and the Bears looking to maintain that hot streak.
Yeah, Sequoia will be looking to get above that 500 mark in this game, and as you said, both teams are winless in the conference, so also looking to get that first conference win.
You know, overall record is nice and all, Will, but at the end of the day in the state of Georgia, it is all about that region record. That's what matters when it comes playoff time.
Yeah, and both schools are not doing too hot right now, so they'll be looking to get a win here, and that will jumpstart them to better conference games in the future.
Plenty of time to turn the ship around. It looks like Cambridge is going to come out in their deep blues with a white stripe on the sides with the powder blue lettering and white numbers. Sequoia going to wear their home whites with the yellow trim and numbers. As we thank you here. Another interesting development. Will, Coach Carden not here this evening, been placed under quarantine, so Cam Carden going to be captaining the ship here tonight for the Sequoia Chiefs. Let's see if he can step in Coach Carden's absence and get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, that will definitely be hard for these boys to overcome, as Coach Carden is a great basketball coach and he does a great job here with his program, but I still have faith in our boys that we can come through with the W here tonight.
Absolutely. We had a chance to talk with some of those boys earlier today doing some interviews and some media type things, but all of them seem to really love Coach Carden and say that he's one of the big reasons why they really enjoy playing for the Sequoia Chiefs program, and that's one of the reasons why they think they're so successful, especially making the Elite Eight last year. So they were definitely singing his praises. So a big loss here for the Sequoia Chiefs as Coach Carden not on the bench tonight due to COVID quarantine issues. But Sequoia is still going to give that maximum effort here tonight against the Cambridge Bears, looking for that first region win.
Yeah, he is a staple member as he's been with this school for so long.
So we'll go ahead. We're going to go ahead and sing the national anthem. So a short break, everybody, as we stand up to honor this great nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we settle in and gather around the table of the tie that binds us. That is high school sports. Cambridge, Sequoia, here from the War Lodge at Sequoia High School in Canton, Georgia, beautiful Hickory Flat, Georgia. Will, one of the favorite venues for watching high school basketball, the War Lodge. It's not like other gymnasiums in the state. It's very small and very intimate. And it's weird not having as many fans here this year, but boy, when this place gets packed out, it gets loud and it gets rowdy.
Absolutely, and one of the loudest parts about it is the student section. They always come out to support their fellow classmates, and as you said, this is the tie that binds us, and it's something that we can all rally around, and really shows with how many people come out to these games.
Yes, absolutely. We want to give a shout out to the Hickory Flat community and the Sequoia School District. ladies and gentlemen, you really show out for your athletic programs here at Sequoia High School, whether it be girls basketball, boys basketball, baseball, wrestling, especially football. You guys make this all worthwhile. We want to thank you for watching and joining us here on ChiefsTV.net. Before we get underway, give one more shout out to the Audiovisual Club here at Sequoia for putting on Chiefs TV. Coach Man, Will, you guys, Ian, you do a fantastic job of putting on a quality production that helps us to get these games broadcast out to everybody who'd be able to, who wants to watch them.
Absolutely, and as we said, not as many people can come to these games, so it's so very critical that we are able to do this so that you're able to watch it from home.
And now the time for basketball, as this one's going to be inbounded. Cambridge going to go ahead and take over first as Gardella setting up the offense. He's got Keener in his face, looks to drive the lane. Pass is going to be knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be Sequoia basketball. So 11 seconds in, and already we've got a turnover, as this one's going to be inbounded to Keener. Keener up on the near side, now standing on the eye of the Chiefs logo. Goes over to a right-handed dribble and dishes this one out to Aiden Watson. Watson, pass to the top, no good on the three-point attempt by Connor Harris. And rebound by Cambridge, now down in the corner. Back out to the wing. Slow dribble now back up to Gardella. Gardella drives the lane, lays that one up and off the rim. No good there. Pass intended for Wally. He catches that one and lays it up and in. And Sequoia breaks the ice first here with 7 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 2-0 Sequoia Chiefs. Tommy Swift with the ball. Now he dishes this one down for Daniel Mack. All by himself at the wing is Gardella, and that one rims out. And here comes Watson with the rebound. Watson sends that one over to Keener, who gets it right back. And Mitchell is fouled in the low post as he went up for that pass. So the first foul of the night is going to be on number 33 for Cambridge. And that is Nate Isler. And that's a floor foul, so Wally going to go ahead and inbound that one for the Chiefs. 6:43 left to go in the first. Still 2-0 Sequoia. Watson has this one. He drives the lane. And another foul on Cambridge. So Gavin Gardella picks up his first. And Coach Chip Flemmer not going to be pleased with that one. As Watson ready to inbound this one, he finds Mitchell at the top of the key. Mitchell dribbles one time and gets this one back over to Kyle Keener. Keener and Wally play a little pitch and catch. Keener goes between the legs once or twice. Now he picks up his dribble and has to find Watson. 6:25 left to go. Watson drives the baseline, finds Wally, who's all by himself. And that one had a little bit too much mustard on it as it rims out and is taken by Gardella for Cambridge. Now back at the top of the key is Mack. Daniel Mack gives this one back over to Isler. He gives it back to Gardella. Gardella is stopped in his tracks by Mitchell. A little crossover dribble. Now he finds this one in the low post. Isler puts that one up. No good. Rebound taken by Sequoia. And Watson carries this one up the floor. He's going to try and lay that one in, and he does. And Sequoia doubles the lead. 4-0 with 5:45 left to go in the first. A good start for the Chiefs so far, Will.
Yeah, they're playing some great defense and able to quickly get the ball back in their own hands after Cambridge gets it.
Another opportunity for the Chiefs as Keener dishes that one over to Watson. It goes around the world and finds Wally. Pump fakes. Now he drives in and shoots that one up. No good. So Wally off to a cold start for the usually hot-handed Sequoia Chiefs shooter. Ball finds its way to Sager. He's going to have a jump shot there. No good. And the scoring drought continues for the Cambridge Bears. Keener, nice pass over there to Watson. And another foul on Gavin Gardella. Coach Flemmer's seen enough. He's going to send in Zane Moore. As Gardella in foul trouble early in the first quarter with 5:06 left to go in the first. Chiefs on top, 4-0. Chiefs haven't committed a foul yet. Deep three for Wally, and that one's got a little bit too much on it. Will, he's not missing by much, but if he catches his stride, look out. Second attempt, no good for Isler. Sequoia going to take over. Nice move there by Watson to drive to the basket, and that one is rejected by Davis Sager. Stays Chiefs ball, but an excellent defensive effort there by Sager. And this one inbounded to Harris, who shoots a three-pointer, and that one had a little bit too much on it. Correction, that was not Harris, that was Keener. But that one is laid back in. And Sequoia takes a 6-0 lead. 4:26 left to go in the first. Pass down in the wing, bobbled a little bit, shot from the three-point line. Rolls around, no good on the Davis Sager shot. After the big block on Aiden Watson, now down to the baseline is Fisher Mitchell. Puts it on the ground a couple times, and a shot is no good from about 8 feet away. So the well a little dry in the scoring department for both teams early in the first quarter here, Will.
Yeah, and although Chiefs have been missing quite a few shots, they are still ahead 6-0, and Cambridge just not really been able to find it on either side of the court here, and Chiefs are taking a little bit of advantage of that, but not as much as they could be, certainly.
Only a 6-0 lead as Will Paulus checks in. He's going to pass this one over to Sager. Sager now to Moore at the top of the key. Moore takes 2 steps and dishes that one back out, gets it back along the baseline. Nice block by Fisher Mitchell. Mitchell gets that one ahead to Keener, who finds Harris in the lane, and he lays that one up and in. And Coach Flemmer has seen enough, and he wants to talk about it with his players, trailing 8-0 with 3:36 left to go in the first quarter. So, Will, during this break, let's go ahead and thank some sponsors here who support this Sequoia Chiefs basketball program.
Absolutely, and some of those sponsors would be Beddoes Bar and Grill of Hickory Flat, Barbie Lackey Financial Group, CycleWorks Sanitation of Ball Ground, Georgia, as well as Food Basket Deli, and lastly we have Buffalo's, where everyone is family.
Food Basket Deli, also home of the best Phillies in town. We want to make sure we get that out there as well. So we want to thank our sponsors for all you do for the basketball programs and the athletic programs here at Sequoia High School. And thank you for your support of Chiefs athletics and basketball this season. And what a strange season it is, Will, seeing the student section this light and not having the band of Chiefs here blasting the pep band, but not seeming to bother Sequoia so much as they're up 8-0 here in the first quarter.
Absolutely, not nearly as many students as past games, but as you said, that hasn't affected them so far, still up 8-0.
Ball back to the top of the key. Will Paulus going to change directions now. He gets this one over to Swift. Swift thinks about it for a second, passes that one down into the corner, and the ball's going to go back around the world. Nice head fake, and drives baseline. They're going to say no shot, and Fisher Mitchell going to pick up his first foul of the evening, as it looks like he gave a little bit of a forearm shove there to one of the Cambridge Bears, so they'll inbound the basketball. Paulus has this one now over to Swift and back to Paulus. Cambridge not panicking yet, taking time, letting that offense get developed. Aiden Watson a little bit more aggressive on defense there. But Cambridge still has the ball on the perimeter, and a deep three by Swift is no good. Picking up the rebound, though, is Paulus. Paulus tried to drive the lane and had to kick it back out. Now Daniel Mack has it at the top of the key, picks up his dribble. Swift looking inside, but Sequoia closes the gap quickly. And a deep three-pointer for Cambridge falls. Big shot there by number 3, Will Paulus. Wally trying to answer for the Chiefs, and that one bounces off the rim, so well, Wally has 2 points, but he's 0 for. Wide open three-point look for Cambridge, goes off the front of the rim. Offensive rebound taken. And we're going to get another call on Fisher Mitchell. So with 2:10 left to go in the first, Chiefs leading 8-3. Fisher Mitchell in foul trouble for the Chiefs. And checking in for the Chiefs, Matthew Trainer. Trainer, a dual sport athlete in both football and basketball. Got to see a lot of him this year on the gridiron. As a pass out to the wing, shot no good, picked up by Keener, and he'll rebound that one for the Chiefs. Keener running about 80% to get back up the court, lets the offense get developed a little bit. Watson now has it at the wing, he kicks it back out for Wally. Wally finally finds his range and drains a three-pointer. That's an 11-3 lead for the Chiefs with 1:40 left to go in the first quarter.
Wally with 5 points now, and he has missed quite a few shots, so if he gets going, he could have quite a bit more.
Trainer, nice lob pass up to Wally. Wally looks baseline, the gap closes, it's not there. Layup in the paint and fouled on the shot is going to be Aiden Watson. So our first free throws of the evening. Aiden Watson gonna go to the charity stripe with 1:24 left to go in the first quarter as Sequoia on top of Cambridge 11-3. Will had a chance to talk to Aiden earlier. You know, one of the things that he likes to do is he's very involved in causes off the court. So not only a phenomenal basketball player, but an excellent human being and young man as well.
Yeah, and on the court, he is one of their big guys. He's, big, tall, and he's in the paint all the time, and they look to him to get a lot of their points down low.
One of the things that he does very, very well is he gives everything a 100% effort. Misses on the free throw there, though. Trainer gets back on defense and stops the drive into the lane. Offense giving the Chiefs a little bit different look. Drive to the paint, layup, no good. And a rebound there by Watson. Sager tried to lay that one up and in, and a layup for the Sequoia Chiefs. So Dylan Wally finding other ways to get it done. He's only hit one three-pointer so far, but 13-3 is your score as the Chiefs are on top of the Cambridge Bears with under a minute left to go in the first quarter. Nice pass down into the corner. Now back out to the top of the wing for Cambridge, driving into the key, and I believe they're going to say he was fouled. And Keener going to pick up his first, so 44 seconds left to go in the first period. 13-3 Chiefs. Cambridge going to go ahead and inbound the basketball. Nice lob pass. Finds its way over to Marcus Veazey. Baseline ball slapped away. Lee in defense for the Chiefs, and they're going to get Watson as he left his feet. And Watson going to pick up his second. Correction, that's Watson's first. And first free throw is no good for Owen Setterlin. Second one swirls around the rim and goes in. And Cambridge is back to within 9, 13-4 left to go. Correction, 13-4 the score, 24 seconds left to go. Trainer dishes that one back out to Wally. Wally mid-range jumper sinks that one. And that'll bring his point total up to 9. 15-4 Sequoia. 13 seconds left to go in the first. So Will, domination on both ends of the basketball for the Chiefs early on. 5 seconds left to go. Cambridge gets a shot off, and that one's nothing but net. 1 second left to go. They got to throw it up, and time's going to expire. Didn't catch the number on the shooter for Cambridge, but an excellent three-point shot brings it to within 8 at the end of 1. It's Sequoia 15, Cambridge 7.
Yeah, and Cambridge early on was not able to get any foothold in the game whatsoever. As really, Chiefs went up by 13-3 until the very end of the quarter there, and you could see that most evidently in that one sequence when they got their first 3 points. I mean, Chiefs were not playing fantastic defense, but they were playing enough to get by.
And like you said, Will, not fantastic, but it's enough to get by. They've basically doubled up the Cambridge Bears right now as we go into the second quarter. Some of the shots that usually fall for the Chiefs haven't fallen here in the first quarter, but you got to think at some point Dylan Wally's going to start heating up. Kyle Keener's going to start heating up, but it looks like Cambridge has a little bit of a perimeter game as well. Yeah,
and with those few points at the end of the quarter there, I mean, they're still down by 8, but it's definitely not over for them, and one of the things the Chiefs are going to have to work on here in this second quarter and the rest of the first half is their defense for sure.
Trainer going to inbound the basketball for the Chiefs as we get ready to kick off the second period. As Trainer sends that one into Keener, and we're underway in the second quarter. So picking up another foul is Cambridge. Didn't catch the number on the offender. Nice pass to Keener inside. Keener under the hoop. He's surrounded by Bears. Kicks that one out to Wally, and Wally sinks a nice mid-range jumper. And Wally with 11 points in the first half, starting to find his range. If that three-pointer doesn't fall, that mid-range jumper is definitely working for him. Something that you don't see too much in the professional game anymore is that mid-range jumper, Will. Kind of a dying art, but Dylan Wally making it happen.
Absolutely. With 11 of the 17 points, he's really been coming along here tonight.
Got another foul coming up against Cambridge. It's Davis Sager that picks up his third foul of the evening. Correction, that's his first, I'm sorry. Keener over to the wing now. Back up to the top for Wally. Wally thought about the shot, wasn't there. Keener's got a man in his face, dishes that one to Watson, who starts to back his man down and kicks it back out to Keener. Watson sets the screen, drives back inside, lays that one up and in, and a nice effort there by Aiden Watson, playing a little pitch and catch with Kyle Keener, and on the pass, cut towards the basket and laid that one up and in.
Yeah, and that was that physicality that he was showing that we were talking about earlier when him driving and being able to get those points down low.
Trainer picks up his first foul of the night, 19-7. Sequoia on top of Cambridge with 6:42 left to go in the half. And so far this one has been all Chiefs. Bears not out of this one just yet as Mack takes that one in the perimeter. Nice mid-range jumper for him. Can't knock it down though. Keener picks up the loose ball. Nice pass over to Preston Parker. He pulls up a short-range jumper of his own, but that one's no good. Teased a little bit on the rim. And we're going to get a jump ball as Wally came flying in and tied that one up. So it'll stay Cambridge ball as the possession arrow is in their favor. 19-7 left to go in the half. Still 6:25 left to go until the break. Pass down in the corner. Nice behind the back dribble by Swift. He sends that one the entire length of the court. And that one goes up and teases the rim and falls. Nice shot there by number 11, Owen Setterlund. Got physical in the paint and lobbed that one up and in. Watson has a lane, kicks that one over to Wally. Wally shoots that one way over the rim. Will, we're not used to seeing Wally miss this many three-pointers as Setterlund's shot doesn't go in either. And the second chance on the three-pointer is nothing but net by Jack Falkenberg. So Cambridge hitting the threes. Sequoia having a little bit of trouble as it's 19-12 with 5:30 left to go in the half. Nice pass now, baseline shot, no good, but that's going to be a foul. So Parker going to go to the charity stripe. So 19-12 is your score, 5:27 left to go in the half. First free throw bounces up, bounces off and is no good. Sequoia not doing so hot from the charity stripe tonight. I think they've missed on all three attempts so far, Will. I'll make that all four attempts. Harris going to pick up a foul for a reach. Checking into the game for the Chiefs is number 11, Nick Lee. One of the specialists for the Sequoia Chiefs team. Cambridge driving to the lane now. Another Shot fired up by Falkenberg, but no good. Sequoia picks up the basketball. Nice move by Keener. Lee finds Harris in the corner. Now he dishes that one down to the paint to Watson, who has to dish it back out to Lee. Now around the world, and Wally going to take a shot from the corner, and that one falls in. His second three-pointer of the night makes it 22-12 with 4:52 left to go in the first half. As that takes Wally to 15 points. And now he's starting to find his rhythm as Owen Setterland's shot is no good. And another offensive rebound for the Chiefs. Keener over to Wally. Keener and Wally, the two primary deep threats for the Sequoia Chiefs, as Keener's going to take a shot. Not so sure that one didn't get blocked or deflected, but it bounces off the front of the rim. 22-12 with 4:10 left to go in the first half. Chiefs on top of the Bears as Mac's shot clangs off the iron, and the rebound's taken by Watson. Watson to Woolley, who drives the lane, and that one got away from him. And a hard collision between Wally and Setterland. Both players get up and shake that one off, but Cambridge going to take the ball now. As we see Gavin Gardella back in the game. Gardella got in foul trouble early, but seems to be the primary option for Cambridge at point guard, Will. Nice dish down into the paint, shot no good, and that one's going to go off Cambridge, courtesy of number 14, Davis Sager. So Will Sequoia in the driver's seat here in the first half. Wally shoots another deep three, and that one teases and rims out. Baseline drive now, a pass to the wing. All kinds of time to shoot that one, and Zane Moore drains that one from the far corner. As Cambridge not ready to let Sequoia pull away just yet. 22-15, still 3 minutes left to go. Harris fires up a three, and that one goes off the front. Nice tip by Watson over to Lee, and Keener's got it. He finds Wally from the wing, and Wally knocks down a three-pointer of his own, and that'll spread this one back out to a double-digit lead. And head coach Chip Flemmer wants to talk this one over with his Cambridge Bears.
Yeah, Woolley getting a lot of looks here early, and it's kind of been back and forth. He misses some, he makes some, but he's been the top producer and been what's keeping Sequoia in the driver's seat, as you said earlier.
Absolutely. So, Will, it looks like just when Sequoia is about to start stretching it out, Cambridge will hit a big three-pointer and keep it a reasonably close game. You know, you and I had the opportunity to call a really good football game between these two schools, and hopefully it'll come down to the wire just like it did in this game. Depending on who you're cheering for, you might not feel the same way, but hopefully we'll see a good basketball game here tonight. Chiefs leading by 10, 25-15 with 2:57 left to go in the half. And Dylan Wally's starting to find that range with 17 points here in the first half.
Yeah, well, their offense is looking good. Their defense is something they need to work on, as they've been able to put a lot of good pressure down low, but out wide it's not there, and that's why Cambridge has been able to make so many threes. Trap
beyond the three-point line. Nice pass inside. Now another three-pointer from that far corner goes off the front of the rim. Not quite enough on that one. Pushed ahead for Lee. Lee over to Wally, who steps back and takes a three-pointer and knocks that one down. Dylan Wally, 20 points in the first half. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go until the break. And Sequoia starting to step that lead out. Gardelli's going to lose the ball. Watson pokes that one away. Now left up for Wally. Wally a little bit too much mustard on that one. Nice save by Watson, who gets this one back out to Lee. Head fake. Lee passes this one back out to Keener. Keener takes a three-pointer, and that one swirls out of the rim, and Cambridge is able to stop the bleeding. 2:05 left to go in the first half. 28-15. Sequoia on top of the Bears. Back out to the corners, Gardella, correction, I'm sorry if I've been saying that wrong the whole night. Three-pointer from beyond the arc is drained by number 14, Davis Sager. Wally going to answer with his own. And that one is no good as he didn't quite have enough on that one. Nice rebound by Gardella. He's going to drive the length of the court. Tried the reverse layup, not there, but he's fouled on the shot attempt. So Gardella going to go to the nail for the Bears. Willie's not the biggest guy on the floor for Cambridge, but he is definitely playing with a lot of intensity. We're talking about Gavin Gardella.
Yeah, intensity is something he is playing a lot with, and that's one of the reasons he got a couple fouls, because he's a little too aggressive, but sometimes that's what a team needs, someone who's real aggressive.
Need that player sometimes to offer a little bit of the spark. That first free throw attempt, no good. 28-18, Chiefs on top of the Bears. A minute 36 left to go until the break. And Gardella's second free throw attempt is good, so that'll bring it back to within 9, 28-19, with 90 seconds left to go in the half. Sequoia going to have to start getting some other guys involved in the offense here, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Wally has been getting all the looks, and he has been able to capitalize on most of them, but he can't run the team by himself.
And that's what we're talking about right there, a nice inside look on the Lee to Aiden Watson connection. Nice assist there by Lee. Lee comes up to trap, but the ball is now passed around, and a three-point shot from beyond the arc falls, courtesy of Sager, as a interesting turn of events transpired there. A wild shot by Gardella finally finds its way back to Sager, and now the trap is on. Keener trying to break that one. He's got Gardella in his face, finds Watson at the SHS. And it looks like Sager going to pick up a foul. So the score 30-22 with 39 and a half seconds left to go in the half. This one inbounded to Lee. Wally going to drive the paint. A nice looking mid-range jumper drops to the bottom of the net. And it's back to a 10-point lead with 30 seconds left to go. Cambridge taking their time. Sager going up the middle. Now he starts shifting left to the other side of the court. Gardella going to flank him on his right. He gets the ball back at the top of the key. He tried to spin around in the paint. No good. Nice look there. And Davis Sager starting to heat up for the Bears. 10 seconds left. Watson with a chance, and that one's rejected by Sager. So like we were saying, Will, that energy that Gardella was bringing starting to make its way to the rest of the team. Sager has hit a couple of big three-pointers and a nice block there on Aiden Watson. 7 seconds left to go in the half. Keener's got this one. He's double-teamed. Wally going to fire a deep three, and that one is no good. And time's going to expire here on the first half of play, where your Sequoia Chiefs are on top of the Cambridge Bears, 32-25. So Will, Dylan Wally has 22 points, and with the Chiefs having 32 as a team, he's been the focal point of the offense here for the Chiefs. I think player of the first half for the Bears has to be Davis Sager.
Yeah, absolutely. He was really able to come alive with quite a few points at the end there, and as you were saying, number 2, Gavin Gardella's energy has been starting to rub off on these other players, and they've really been able to do something that the Chiefs haven't, and that's spread the points out between multiple players, as Wally has 22 of 32, as you said.
I definitely like the energy that he's bringing, and it looks like that's starting to bleed over to other guys. Sager's hit some really big three-pointers, and that's the reason why this isn't a bigger lead than it has been. A 7-point lead going into the first half with Dylan Wally heating up. He's got 22 points already. If you're the Cambridge Bears, I have to think that's a win for that team.
Yeah, absolutely. But something the Chiefs are going to work on defensively is locking down on that defense, especially out beyond the three-point arc.
Well, Coach Carden's got to be pleased with what he's seeing if he's back at the house with his Chiefs up 32-25 in his absence here from the War Lodge. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. Don't go anywhere, and we will bring you the second half of action here from the War Lodge at Sequoia High School. I'm Chase Schaefer. Joining me is Will Hogendijk, and we'll be back momentarily.
I think that was a good half. Can we
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the War Lodge here at Sequoia High School. Just a few moments away from getting the second half of this varsity boys contest underway. I'm Chase Schaefer. Thank you for joining us here on Chiefs TV with my associate Will Hogendijk. Will, everything seemed to go in the Chiefs' favor in the first half, but still a 7-point game here at the War Lodge.
Yeah, the first quarter was pretty slow and not as exciting, but both teams really started to pick it up in the second quarter with Cambridge scoring a lot of threes and obviously Woolley coming alive for the Chiefs. So it'll be interesting to see what patterns continue and what new ones form in the second half.
And the Sequoia Chiefs offense has been relying pretty heavily on Dylan Wally, as he's got 22 of the Chiefs' 32 points. High scorer so far for the Cambridge Bears is going to be Davis Sager, who hit some monster three-pointers there towards the end of the first half to keep Cambridge in this one. As we get ready to get back underway, some big storylines, not only the offensive machine that is Dylan Wally, but the absence of Coach Carden, as he has been quarantined with COVID-19. I wonder how that's affecting the strategy of this Sequoia Chiefs team. But Cam Carden, of the same bloodline, is on the bench leading the Chiefs on, as they're currently on top of the Cambridge Bears. Both teams looking to get their first region win, as they're both 0-3 in the region. Cambridge looking to get back to 500. If they win tonight, they'll go up to 6-6, and Sequoia looking to get their head above 500 for one of the first times this year, as this one's inbounded, taken by Keener. Keener finds Mitchell, who flashes on the wing. Aiden to Harris. Nice job there by Gardella to poke that one away. 7:45 left to go in the third period. Still 32-25. Chiefs keep the basketball, inbound to Keener. Gardella all over him. Harris gonna find Watson over along the far sideline. Tried to get it in there to Fisher Mitchell, but just outside of his reach as that one goes out of bounds. It'll be Cambridge basketball. So an unfortunate turnover for the Chiefs can be turned into a golden opportunity for the Cambridge Bears, as Gardella leads the charge up the floor. Nice move there. He's gonna drive into the lane, dishes this one out for a three-point shot. That one no good. On the shot by Nate Isler. Pass inside to Fisher Mitchell, puts one down, one dribble down, and banks that one off the backboard, and Sequoia stretches its lead to 9, 34-25 with 1 minute gone in the third period. Gavin Gardella, the point guard for the Cambridge Bears, setting up the offense. A low dribble as he gets this one back out to the three-point specialist tonight, Davis Sager. Nice inside pass, and a great job by Mackner to save that one. Daniel Mack kept that one from being a turnover. Gardella drives into the lane and lays that one up off the glass. Will, not the biggest guy on the floor, but plays with a ton of heart.
Oh yeah, he has so much energy, and he's the playmaker of that Cambridge offense, and it's really starting to show.
He is definitely the field general for that team. 34-27, Sequoia on top of Cambridge. 34-27, like we just said. This one makes its way back over to Gardella. Let's see what Gardella cooks up. Nice low dribble spin move, and that one flashes, but no good. And Fisher Mitchell gonna get fouled on the Isler putback attempt. So that's Fisher Mitchell's third foul on the evening. And with 6:10 left to go in the third, here comes Nick Lee to the scorer's table to check in for the Sequoia Chiefs. Want to thank all the fans who made their way out to the War Lodge this evening. The student section pretty strong here in front of the booth. That's one of the great things about school basketball, is the second free throw drops for Cambridge and making it a 5-point game, 34-29. One of the great things about school level basketball, whether it be college or high school, Keener's three-pointer no good, putback attempt. Harris is fouled, so he'll go to the nail. Is the student sections. You know, you think about some of the famous student sections in college basketball, the Cameron Crazies, Syracuse student section. And Harris sinks his first one. That's you know, Will, that's one of the things that basketball is all about, is getting everybody involved in this close, intimate environment, hearing the crowd noise, and, you know, that's one of the things we've missed with the COVID restrictions in place.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the reasons that is one of the biggest presences is because they care the most about it. I mean, these are their students or fellow students and their friends as well playing.
Officials want to go ahead and make sure that the clock is correct. They get it corrected. Shows 5:56 left to go in the third. 36-29. Sequoia leading by 7. Will, we thought Sequoia was going to walk away with this one. There were some flashes in the first half that made it look like Sequoia had Cambridge's number tonight, but they have stormed back and have been playing with a lot of heart and intensity. And that's keeping this one a close game.
Yeah, and one of the things that has been keeping them in this game is the ability to make threes when they need to. And Chiefs have had the lead for the entire game, but they haven't been able to run away with it quite yet because of that lack of defense on Cambridge.
Pass to the high post for Harris. Harris finds Wally. Wally looks to drive. Step back, a long two-pointer, no good. And a nice defensive stand there for Cambridge. Wide open three-pointer from the top of the key, and that one's going to find its way in. It teased a little bit, but Tommy Swift knocks down a big three-pointer for Cambridge. And Will, don't look now, but the Bears are back to within 4, 36-32.
Yeah, and it just goes back to what I was just saying is Cambridge hasn't gotten the lead yet, but they haven't been able to, or they've been able to stay in it the entire game.
Sequoia keeping them at arm's length as Keener lays that one up and in. Correction, that was not Keener, that was Harris. Swift thought about another deep three-pointer, but he's going to leave that one over for Sager. Sager shoots that one from the free throw line. Swift under the basket, no good on the putback attempt. And Watson all by himself as he dunks that one on the breakaway. Aiden Watson streaking up the court is able to slam that one home and put the Chiefs back up 8, 40-32 with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left to go in the third period. Will, you kind of got to wonder, Aiden Watson got kind of tired of some of his shots being blocked earlier on in the game, and you have to wonder if that dunk was a statement there by Aiden Watson.
Oh, absolutely it was. It was a statement to those Cambridge defenders saying, come at me, I'm ready.
Lee takes this one on the wing. Now back to Watson, who's at the top of the key. Kicks this one back over for Matthew Traynor. Lee takes it, sends that one back down to Keener. Wally flashes in the paint, it's not there. Nice drive by Traynor, and he lays that one up and in. And Sequoia picking up the intensity of their own, and they stretch this one back out to a 10-point lead, 42-32 with 3:50 left to go in the third quarter. Nice move there by the Cambridge point guard. The shot's no good. Driving the lane again, and that one teases and rims out. And they're going to say Matthew Traynor picked up a foul. So going to the free throw line is going to be Sager. Will, one of the things we mentioned earlier is that Sequoia Chiefs offense was going to have to come from somebody else, and it has, as Sequoia has scored points with everybody except Wally as the first free throw's good, and he's still sitting at 22 points.
Yeah, most definitely, and well, that's not necessarily good news for Wally. That is good news for the rest of the team, showing that they can still put points on the board without him.
Watson over to Traynor. Nice three-pointer look by Keener, no good though. Here comes Gardella again. Sager looking to drive in the lane. A little contact on the basketball, but a nice putback by Grant Rosenbaum. And that makes it 42-35. 3 minutes left to go in the third. Keener's got it. Now he gives that one to Lee at the top of the key. Traynor has this one on the far wing. Finds Keener. Keener retreats back to the logo, now finds Wally. Wally looks to drive into the paint, but a little bit too much contact. And they're going to get Zane Moore on the block. So 2:53 left to go in the third. Inbound. Wool drives into the paint, and he kicks that one out to Keener. Keener looks baseline, not there, sends that one back out to Watson. Watson splits the defense and lays that one up, but gets fouled on the way to the rim, and he'll go to the charity stripe. You know, Will, one group that we really haven't thanked enough this year especially, is the cheerleading group. You know, it's one thing to get an already packed building hyped up for a basketball game, but to get an arena hyped up that's half full, these cheerleaders are down there doing their thing, and we want to thank them for all the effort and energy they put out as Watson nails the first the first free throw and the second. So thank you to those cheerleaders who keep showing up to all these games and helping create that atmosphere. Full court press is on, and Gardella gets tripped up. And they're going to get Lee on the push. So 44-35, 2 minutes and 39 seconds left to go in the third. Cambridge going to inbound this one. Gardella going to get the ball from Rosenbaum. Gardella looking inside again, and he lays that one up. No good on the shot, but he's going to go to the line as they get Nick Lee again, as Gardella giving Lee fits here in the second half. Gardella doing a fantastic job of driving in the lane and getting those calls so he can go to the stripe as he sinks the first one. Will, it just goes to show if you get the ball to the basket, sometimes good things happen, and good things are happening for Gardella right now.
Absolutely, he's been able to get to the basket all night. Even if he's not making shots, he's been able to get it there, and some of his teammates have been able to get rebounds. So he's just the glue holding this Cambridge team together right now.
And he's going to go to the bench and get a much-deserved rest. I know it might not show on the scoreboard right now. Fisher Mitchell with a nice fake, and he misses on the putback attempt. So 44-37 with 2:20 left to go. I know it's not going to show on the stat sheet, Will, but Gardella with an excellent game tonight. Still at 5 points, so plenty of time to make a splash on the scoreboard, but I think his contribution has been more on the physicality and the grind end of the game. And another foul on Sequoia. So Harris picks up another foul, and that'll be his third. First free throw is good as Madsen Peterson is at the line for the Bears. Second shot, no good. Nice rebound there by Watson. Watson in double digits as he's got 10 points. Harris getting pretty close. Wally, another nice head fake, and shoots that one from the free throw line and drops that one down. And Coach Carden wants to take a timeout and talk about it. With 1 minute and 50 left to go in the third quarter, the Chiefs are on top of the Cambridge Bears, 46-38. So, Will, it almost happened. We thought there for a minute that Dylan Wally was going to be held scoreless for the third quarter, but with 1 minute and 50 seconds left, he splashed home that nice mid-range jumper from the free throw line.
Yeah, and that's been one of the shots that he's been able to make all night, that mid-range jumper. He's made it on both sides in all quarters, and that's been one of the shots he's been able to rely on not only tonight but all season as well.
It's got a nice little fadeaway to it. Aesthetically, it's very nice to watch when he does that little turnaround, jukes back and kind of fades away and lets that ball roll off of the fingertips, and then it finds the bottom of the net. It's a very pretty shot to watch and very aesthetically pleasing.
Absolutely, and that fadeaway also helps the ball to get over the defender, which can help, especially with a lot of these bigger guys out here in high school basketball.
So back out on the floor is Sager. Sager's had a pretty big night. Driving the baseline now. Nice pass to Gardella. No correction, that's Rosenbaum. And that one's laid up and in by Rosenbaum. Setterlin fed him for the assist. So 46-40, it's a 6-point game with 1 minute and 23 left to go in the third. Keener one-on-one with Peterson. He's gonna leave that one over for Harris. Wally getting tight man defense played on him by Setterlin. Now down in the corner, Wally looks inside again, now pitches that one back out to the corner for Matthew Trainer, who leaves that one over for Watson. Watson gonna go baseline, and that one finds Matthew Trainer. Short jumper there, and Watson with a nice offensive rebound, big effort. Kyle Keener gets the ball at the top of the key, no good there. Harris gets the rebound. Sequoia doing a great job cleaning that stuff off the glass. Keener got an open look, he flips it over to Wally, who takes a deep three-pointer, and that one rims around and goes in and makes it a 9-point ball game with 40 seconds left to go. What a great offensive series there by the Sequoia Chiefs, Will.
Yeah, they were able to take advantage of Cambridge's lack of defense and put the maximum amount of points on the board.
And a charge called as Kyle Keener on the receiving end of that offensive foul, so 28.1 seconds left to go in the third. Sequoia leading by 9, 49-40. Cambridge is in the bonus, so if the Chiefs commit another foul this quarter, the Bears will go to the nail one more time, but it looks like Keener gonna slowly lead the ball up the floor. And Sequoia gonna try and get that last shot off. Keener drives the lane, pitches that one back out to Trainer. Trainer with a nice jumper from inside the paint, but no good. And 10 seconds left. Cambridge has an opportunity for the last shot. Ball taken up by Peterson. That one is picked off by Keener. He's gonna drive the length of the court, and no good, but we've got a foul call on Sager. That was Preston Parker who was driving to the lane. So a great job by Parker there to draw the foul with 0.4 seconds left. So an opportunity to stretch this one out to a double-digit lead, and Preston Parker does just that as he sinks his first free throw. So Sequoia will start the fourth quarter with a double-digit lead. Will it be 10 or 11? It'll be 11 as Preston Parker sinks both of his free throws. And the old heave-ho there by Zane Moore is no good as that one hits the ceiling. So after 3 quarters of play, the Sequoia Chiefs starting to put a little bit of room between them and the Cambridge Bears.
Yeah, and that's something that they've been able to do all night, but as Cambridge knows, that is sometimes when they play at their best is that they've been able to make threes just when they need it. So we'll see what they do coming out here in the fourth quarter, what type of plays they come out doing.
So Sequoia started picking up the intensity there towards the back half of the third quarter. We saw a big dunk by Aiden Watson. We saw some very aggressive play by the Chiefs on the offensive glass that contributed to a 3-point play. And Dylan Wally looking to drop a 30-piece tonight. He's only 3 points away with 27 points. And Sager only held to one. It was held to 1 point during the third quarter by that Chiefs defense. So pretty one-sided for the points total, but Aiden Watson has 10, Harris has 8. On the other side, Sager's got 13. As we're back to play, this one nice drive into the lane, and the shot was no good by Tommy Swift. Ball makes its way over to Keener, who gives that one to Watson. And Watson picks up an offensive foul as he was using his arm to create a little distance between him and his defender, who in this case was Daniel Mack. So good job by Mack there drawing the foul on Aiden Watson. That's Watson's second. Oh, a wide open three-pointer there. No good, though, on the shot by Luke Kramer. And here come the Chiefs with an 11-point lead in the fourth and final quarter of play. Preston Parker with a wide open three look, no good as it clangs off the front of the iron, tries to poke that one away from Gardella, but Gardella does an excellent job of guarding the ball. Nice underneath the basket layup by Luke Kramer. Beautiful pass by Gardella, and Kramer with a very nice finish. Brings this one back to within 9. Wally with a nice fake, another mid-range jumper, and he sinks that one. Will, that mid-range jumper is firing on all cylinders for Wally tonight, 29 points. Mack trying a deep three for Cambridge, and he makes that one. Daniel Mack getting on the scoreboard. back to an 8-point game. 53-45, Chiefs on top of the Bears, 6:30 left to go in this region matchup. Parker cuts into the paint. He tried to put that one up, but it goes off the bottom of the rim, or the bottom of the backboard. Nice defense by Mack. Cambridge gets the ball back. Here comes Gardella driving into the paint again. Pass a little high for Mack, but a nice recovery, and that ball goes off of his foot. And the Chiefs will take over. So checking back into the game is going to be Fisher Mitchell. Keener taking his time. Gets this one over to Mitchell. Dylan Wally with a nice three-pointer from the wing, no good. Watson surrounded by the Bears and has that one stolen away from him. Gardella sends that one out to Paulus, no good on the three-pointer. Keener with some tight defense on him, and Wally gonna get called for using the forearm to create some distance between him and Gardella, which is too bad because that was a beautiful three-pointer that he just dropped there.
Yeah, and that's that fadeaway jumper that we've been talking about all night. And Wally's still not in much trouble. That was his first foul, but still has plenty of playing time left.
Still has 29 points on the night. Swift gets the ball as his teammate went down in the paint. Was able to get it out to him. Number 22, Kramer, sends that one back over to Swift. Now Gardella gets it on the baseline on the far corner. Looks to cut into the lane. He's in the paint. Turnaround jumper, and that one goes in for Gavin Gardella. His 7th point of the night. Will, as much as we've been saying his name, it feels like he should have more points than just 7, but some big contributions with the intangible part of the game of basketball.
Yeah, and sometimes the biggest contributions aren't the ones recorded on paper.
And Watson gets fouled on his layup attempt. So with 5 minutes left to go in regulation, and the Chiefs leading 53-47. Watson gonna go to the stripe. Watson, the only other Chief in double digits right now, as the first one bounces around a couple times and eventually falls in. Second one, nothing but net, and that stretches it back out to an 8-point game. So Watson now with 12 points. Nice pass out to the corner. Paulus has that one, and he sends it back over to Swift. Swift taking his time, finds Paulus in the corner. Paulus drives, gets stopped, hands this one over to Gardella, who drives the lane. Nice pass over to Mack, and Mack's shot is no good. Defensive rebound by Nick Lee. Hayden Watson steps out into three-point land and is able to draw the foul. So Mack gonna pick up another foul. Nice inbound pass to Fisher Mitchell. That one had a lot of steam on it. Keener had to go get that one a little bit. The ball makes its way over to Lee. Nice move inside by Watson, and he lays that one up and in, and an opportunity for an and one. So Watson with a chance to make this one an 11-point game and convert the three-point play. And he does. So a three-point play for Aiden Watson, and that gets him up to 14 points. So Watson having a pretty good evening. Here comes the press for the Chiefs, but Swift is able to help break that one as he came across midcourt to help out. Swift gets this one back to Sager. Sager looking to get the three-pointers going again. No good as that one toilet bowls out. Wally leads the charge up the floor, gets that one over to Lee, who sends it back to Mitchell. Now to Keener. Keener one dribble and a pass over to Lee. He gets it back. One-on-one, and Keener going to drive into the lane and lay that one up and in. That was Chris Moore in defense for the Bears, and that makes it a 13-point game. So 60-47 left to go. correction, 60 to 47 the score with 3 minutes and 36 seconds left to go. And Cambridge wants to talk about it. That's a full timeout. So we'll take a few minutes, we'll take a few moments here to thank some sponsors, Will. Go ahead and run down that one more time for us.
Absolutely, and our sponsors for tonight's game are Buffalo's, where everyone is family, Riverstone Parkway of Canton, as well as Food Basket Deli, home of the best Phillies in town. Also Cycle Works Sanitation in Ball Ground, Georgia, the Barbie Lackey Financial Group, and last but not least, Bedeau's Bar and Grill of Hickory Flat.
Bedeau's been around Hickory Flat for a very long time, and I know they've been a big supporter of Sequoia Chiefs athletics, even back before it was Bedeau's, and yours truly was a student here at Sequoia High School. So thank you to those businesses who help our athletic departments out by being sponsors. 3:36 left to go in regulation. Sequoia starting to walk away with this one, it looks like, a little bit, Will.
Yeah, they've been able to take advantage of the Cambridge scoring drought and put on some more points, and a lot of those coming from Aiden Watson and Dylan Woolley, the two highest scorers of this game for the Chiefs, and just an all-around great game for Sequoia tonight.
Yeah, here in the second half, Watson has definitely found that fourth gear, and he's really kicked it into overdrive, picking up a bunch of points and some big rebounds as that inbound pass almost went over Zane Moore's head. He got pretty high up to catch that one. Watson with a nice steal. Let's see if he jams that one home, and he does! Aiden Watson. 17 points with the steal and the finish. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. 62-47. Chiefs on top of the Bears. Swift has Wally all over him. Gets this one over to Sager. Sager one-on-one with Watson. Mack has this one beyond the arc. Mack drives in the lane, and a nice block by Fisher Mitchell. And Watson one-on-one with Gardelli. He gets the pass out to Lee after some contact in the lane. Cambridge not fooled on Aiden Watson's backdoor screen. Tight man defense by Mack on Dylan Wally. And the defense a little bit too tight on Aiden Watson, as Swift going to get called for the foul with 2:36 left to go in the contest. 62-47. Chiefs still on top. Wally looking to get into that 30-point club. He's only 1 point away, but Aiden Watson showing a little bit of a mean streak. Watson working on Gardelli. Nice spin move into the lane, and he lays that one up and in. 19 points for Aiden Watson. Will, he's just playing on another level right now.
Most definitely, and as you said, Woolley looking to get into the 30-point club, but now Watson with 19 looking to get into the 20-point club.
And it was almost there, but a foul on Wally, and he's going to go to the lane as he tried to put that one in. So Dylan Wally with an opportunity to get another 30-point game. So Wally's first from the charity stripe. And that does it. So Wally with 30 points on the night, 65-47 Sequoia. And Will, Sequoia starting to walk away with this one.
Yeah, Cambridge hasn't scored a point in quite a while, and Sequoia taking a big advantage of that, and especially Aiden Watson.
Sequoia with a full court press, leading by 19. And a nice layup there for Cambridge's Jack Falkenberg. Here comes Keener as you hear Cambridge calling for the trap, and a foul called on Cambridge as Fisher Mitchell is fouled. As Fisher Mitchell had 4 different Bears surrounding him and got a call. So Sequoia in the bonus now. Will, last period we saw Cambridge in the bonus as Fisher Mitchell sinks the first of his 1-and-1. Now it's Sequoia who already in the bonus with 1:47 left to go in the game, and Mitchell makes his second, and Sequoia back out to a 19-point lead here at the War Lodge. Falkenberg carries this one up the floor, picks up his dribble, another steal by Aiden Watson. He's one-on-one, and a nice move to lay that one up and in, and 21 points for Aiden Watson. So 70 to 49 with 1:30 left to go in the ball game. And with a 21-point lead, Coach Carden going to go ahead and call off the Dogs, as he's going to let some of these younger guys get some floor time with 90 seconds left to go in the game. Here comes Peterson up the floor. Steal attempt there by Trainer. A three-pointer by Swift, no good. As we're going to say Doyle knocked that one out of bounds. So Will, 31 points for Wally and 21 points for Watson. Those two been pretty lights out tonight.
100%. That has been the dynamic duo, combining for 52 of their 70 points. I mean, that's pretty unbelievable right there.
And Will, it really was a tale of two halves, because in the first half, Wally was hitting those mid-range jumpers, those fadeaways, those dropbacks, and then in the second half, you know, he was still hitting a few shots, but Aiden Watson just found that next level and was getting steals, dunking the ball, breakaways, fast breaks. Watson turned into a track meet and started really getting more physical with this Cambridge Bears team, and rewarded his team with 21 points.
Yeah, and he can do that because of the physical advantage he has with that height and that big physicality.
So a three-pointer no good by Sequoia. Trainer gets turned away on the putback attempt. 70 to 50 your score as we're under a minute left. And fans, want to remind you, barring any more COVID restrictions, we will be back Tuesday. And hopefully we'll be able to bring you a girls game as well at 6 p.m. and at 7:30. As Sequoia with a win tonight, going to improve to 8-7 on the year and 1-3 in the region. Still 30 seconds left to go, but with a 20-point lead, I think it's safe to say that this one is all over. Nice layup there, wow. Great effort by Falkenberg. Trap is on, this one gonna be picked up. And a foul gonna be called on Cambridge, as they got caught up with Tyson Darby. So Darby gonna go to the free throw line with a chance to get on the score sheet with 9.2 seconds left to go in regulation. Will, it looked like for a minute that Sequoia was going to let Cambridge get back into this one, but late in the second half, the Chiefs put it in fourth gear and started walking away with it.
Yeah, most definitely. The Cambridge Bears able to keep it close in the first three quarters, but Sequoia was really able to pull away in the fourth quarter, and that was to the big help of Aiden Watson, who scored so many points in that fourth quarter.
He sure did. A great job by the Sequoia Chiefs team, and you know, Cambridge showed a lot of heart. I really liked the style of play that Gavin Gardella was bringing. You know, Davis Sager hit some huge three-pointers for the Bears to keep it close, and you know, at halftime they weren't trailing by much, but towards the end of the game, the Chiefs did what we thought they were probably going to do early on in the game, created some distance, and ultimately walked away with this one. So, Will, thanks for joining us here tonight. Thank you for all of you who joined us on ChiefsTV.org. Shout out to Coach Mann and to the AV kids. They do a great job. Coach Mann, Ian, our cameraman, who's done a phenomenal job all season long. Will, you've been doing a great job, and it's been a pleasure to see you kind of grow as a color analyst, and you've been doing a great job. So your final score here from the War Lodge at Sequoia High School: Chiefs get their first region victory of the year, victorious over the Cambridge Bears, 70 to 52. Once again, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us on ChiefsTV.org. We're going to try and be back Tuesday, barring anything COVID related. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. And remember, be kind to someone.